Forward here with Boxing King Media. I'm joined by Eddie Hearn here in Cardiff. You've got a huge fight night coming up for Joe Cordina against Ogawa. You did say... Ogawa. Pronunciation.
Maybe that's how they do it in Tokyo. I don't know.
Yeah, I might be right, who knows. But Ogawa, you spoke about in an interview that, Cordina hasn't had those big fights, and stepping up here is going to be a massive step up, and Ogawa can punch. Is there any nerves for you going into it?
A lot of nerves, but I like that. I think this is... In a sport where people criticise sometimes people getting a regular belt or an easy shot at a world title, this is a genuine 50-50 fight against a very good world champion. And if Joe wins, he's a fully fledged, fully respected world champion. Joe's good enough, he's an outstanding fighter, but he's never boxed at this kind of level before. He's good enough to do it, but he has to deliver it on the night. And Ogawa, very strong, can really punch. But at the same time, I love Joe's confidence, and I love Joe talking about how he can stand in a pocket and trade with him and stick it on him. And if he does that, you're going to get an unbelievable fight. A dangerous fight. Yeah. But I don't think that Joe should try and box him for 12 rounds off the back foot and just get walked down by this guy. You've got to get his respect, and Joe's going to have to hit him hard as well.
We've not really seen him in the pocket. He usually uses his boxing brain and whatnot. Something that you're excited to see?
Yeah, I mean, you do see it in the gym, like he talks about. I've seen him spar in wars with Conor and people like that, but... it's difficult doing it at world level against a big puncher like Ogawa. Like, if you've got the skills and ability, use them. Yeah. So, but I'm sure Tony will want him to mix it up, not stand there all night in a pocket and trade, but do it at times. And I've got a feeling Joe thinks that he can stop this guy. It's going to be a tough test, tough ask, but it'll be a great atmosphere in there.
You spoke about the undercard, I'm sure, a lot of times, but for you, which fight are you most looking forward to on Saturday?
I like Zelfa Barrett against Korbanov because Korbanov's a good fighter. He's the European champion. He had a good fight with Cordina. I think it's a tough fight for Zelfa Barrett. Dalton Smith, I think, is an exceptional young fighter. I think he's going to go on and win a world title at 140. Sky Nicholson, new star of women's boxing as well, been very, very active. Gamal Yafai's in a tough fight. Callum French, GB star, plenty of other Welsh talent as well. I mean, it's about the main event, but there's a lot of great young talent on the card as well, but a very tough fight for Zelfa Barrett.
Now, there's been a lot going on in the boxing world, but I want to start off with the whole Gervonta Davis stuff that's been going on. You did say that you would drop him a DM should he become a free agent. Have you dropped him a DM and got a reply?
I got a legal letter from Mr. Ellaby and Mayweather Promotions saying that he's still under contract to them. So, I don't know. We would never interfere with a contract, but I get asked the question a lot. If Gervonta Davis was out of contract, would you make him an offer? And the answer is yes, a huge one. So,
how do you find out if he's out of contract?
Well, he's publicly stated he's out of contract, but the fact that I received a legal letter from Mayweather Promotions probably means that he's still under it now. When is that expired? We don't know. But I've never really been the type to hassle people and camp outside people's house. Yeah. People are smart enough to know that you should get an offer from Matchroom, whether you go with us or not, but you should get an offer. And I'm excited for that potential. But if not, no problem. But, he's a great talent and a big star.
Let's talk about Saturday night. You're not only going to have a long night at the fights and speaking to us, but you're going to have to stay up to watch Devin Haney as well. Looking forward to that. It's a big fight.
Yeah, really funking for Devin. He's a great kid. He's got a tough ask on Saturday, not necessarily because of the fight, but just going to Australia and obviously having a lot of people against him and crowd against him, but fair play to him. And George is a great champion, great guy as well, great self-promoter, two good people, and I'm excited to see it. I think get this show out of the way and then 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning over to watch that fight, and it'll be a good fight. I think Devin Haney is the favourite, but because it's in Australia, it's a 50-50, or you may edge slightly to Kambosos, but I hope Devin can do the business.
If he comes up short in that fight, what's the sort of plan for him? Are you guys going to re-sign him?
I think it was a tough decision for Devin because we always sort of dreamed together that we'd go to the Undisputed Championship, but at the end of the day, if he didn't do this deal, he would have had to walk away from it all. Yeah. So he had to do it. We've got great relationship, great respect, and like I said, I want him to win. I want him to win. He'll have to rematch Kambosos in Australia, and then he'll be free, and hopefully we could work together. But big respect for Devin and his family, and I hope that he wins on Saturday.
In your last interview, I heard you speaking about Frank Warren and other guys coming together to unite against you. But Frank said he's been waiting for a dinner for over 2 years. What's going on with that? Is that going to happen?
Well, someone asked him a good question. Actually, it was Umar, which is unusual. But Umar said to him, you've turned down £1 million offer for Yard to fight Buatsi. But wasn't it just a year ago that you were asking and calling for that fight? Now you're saying, oh, yeah, well, things have changed. So the reality is I was actually going to meet up with him, and then I got COVID. But then we moved to DAZN, and I don't know. I don't see a lot of fights to be made between each other, and I don't see the relationship ever really working out. Yeah. But always, phones are always open. You know, we speak to those guys a lot, and speak to Francis Warren, no problem. But some things just run quite deep, and I'm not putting all the blame on them, but you see the interviews, and it's a long-standing thing that I don't think is really solvable by just making a fight. But I'm getting better. I'm getting a little bit older now. I'm more mature. You know, I was a little bit immature when I came into the marketplace, and it was my thing to rub people up the wrong way, and I still enjoy it.
You still get horny with it, like you said.
I do. I really do. But I do also understand sometimes it can affect trying to make a fight, and you have to be smart. And I'm getting better at talking so much about things that, you know, in interviews, that because our thing has always been transparency. I've always done these interviews. I've been here for an hour and a half. Got another half hour to go, whatever. I just talk, and at some point I'm going to say something controversial, which is great for you guys. Something I shouldn't do, and give probably some information away, or something to upset someone. But you can't have it both ways. I can't be what I am without doing those things.
For sure. Let's move on to the AJ card. Obviously, we're waiting for confirmation, but the undercard, Adam Smith did say that for this situation, everyone has to be sensible, and the undercard should be shared between the boxer fighters and the matchroom fighters. What's your thoughts on that? Is that going to happen?
What, for AJ's fight?
Yeah.
Adam Smith has absolutely no say about the undercard for that fight, and no, there'll be no boxer fighters on the undercard. There'll be, we'll see. Let's see where that fight ends up.
Okay. What's the undercard looking like, though?
We talk about the undercard of Callum Smith. Looks like he'll be fighting a final eliminator for the WBC world title. Looking to try and get Lawrence Okoli in a unification fight. Obviously, we'll speak to K2 as well about their fighters. And also look to finalise the Filip Hrgovic-Zhang final eliminator, which will be mandatory for the winner. So everything's pretty much in place now, and you'll get an announcement probably next week regarding the date. Slight possibility we might move it a couple of weeks just because we're running out of time. We've got global press tours to do, but we're pretty much there.
Finally, keeping on the Adam Smith subject, Conor Benn. That makes you giggle, huh? Conor Benn.
By the way, he's a very good friend of mine.
Conor Benn, obviously coming towards the end of his contract, there's interest from Sky that they want to bring him back. Is he going to be loyal to match?
He has 2 fights left on his contract with us, so that's going to run him till next spring, summer. So,
just out of curiosity, because Adam did say that they want to bring him back, they're interested to bring him back to.
He's one of the biggest stars in British boxing. You know, and if you look at the stars of British boxing, you know, obviously, it's not a dig at Sky. I think they're doing a great job trying and being aggressive in boxing, but there is a lack of headline stars, and Conor is one of the biggest out there.
Awesome. Eddie, thank you very much for your time, as always.